and welcome to this week's What's Hot and end of year bonuses. Remember those? Well, it is still a reality for the very few. Now, let's take Ryanair. It is, as of this week, the second most valuable airline. And Michael O'Leary, who has been the very forthright chief executive for nearly 30 years, is being rewarded to the tune of 100 million euros. I wonder what he'll spend that on. But unfortunately, the former boss of BP has had to forfeit £32.4 million for not being forthright about his relationships in the past. And from the past to the future, and I'm talking about the future of the London Stock Exchange, particularly with more and more companies choosing to go to the States to trade their stock. Cambridge-based chip designer Arm Holdings floated on Nasdaq in September, where it raised £3.8 billion. So what about the Nasdaq? Let's do a compare and contrast. Well, in 2023, so far, the Nasdaq has raised 13 billion US dollars compared to the 972 million US dollars raised on the London Stock Exchange over the past 12 months. Well, Paddy Power and Betfair owner Flutter, they say they will list their shares on the US from the 29th of January, although the primary listings will still remain in the UK. There is speculation that they could relinquish the UK listing and just go it alone in the States. And in an article by Proactive's Will Farrington, Flutter's shares remain 14% lower since the middle of the year. However, that's not putting off analysts at Peel Hunt, who expect increased demand when the company lists in New York. Meanwhile, travel giant TUI is considering quitting the LSE in favour of a listing in Frankfurt. And I'm looking out of the window and it is a wet weasel. In fact, it was a wet summer, resulting in me not doing very much on my allotment until I got a jolly good telling off. However, I returned to the allotment when we had that extraordinarily hot period in September. However, the warm autumn hasn't been good news for Superdry, which says that the warm autumn has not been good for business. It's warned that full year profits will be hit by the challenging trading environment. Well, there's been a lot of bar humbug this year. I reckon next year will be different and possibly a little bit more inspiring. So hopefully that will leave you feeling all warm inside. Take care. Have a nice Christmas. I'll be back after the festive period.